Welcome everyone to today's Peppermint Innovation Investor Briefing webinar. It's a pleasure to have you with us. My name is Nicola Gazzatti from Investor Relations Consultancy Corporate Storytime. Peppermint Innovation is an Australian company driving financial inclusion through its Peppermint Platform, a powerful mobile banking, payments, remittance and e-commerce ecosystem operating in the Philippines. Today we'll be hearing from Managing Director and CEO Chris Cain and Innovation Advisor Brad Jones, who will share how Peppermint is expanding its impact and shaping the future of digital financial inclusion across this fast-growing market. Following the presentation, we will open the floor for a Q&A session. So without any further ado, I am pleased to hand over to Chris and Brad.
Thank you, Nicola. And on behalf of Peppermint, thanks to all who have attended. Look forward to bringing you a strategic update as to what we're up to and how we're proceeding. So without further ado, I'll get straight into it. So ultimately, what we wanted to talk about today is just our real focus, and that focus is to drive digital growth across the Philippines cooperative sector. Starting with the offset of who we are and what we do, corporate structure, you'd all be aware of this. We are a somewhat undervalued company in my mind. We have a strong, experienced board, and we have a strong, experienced innovation and advisory board. So on the board sits myself, Anthony Cain, and Neil Cross, and on our advisory and innovation board sits Neil Cross, Brad Jones, and Shashank Pawar. The advisory board brings significant experience and understanding of how we can harness and achieve the opportunity that we've built at Peppermint. So as I said earlier, we really are and have been over the last period of time going through a strategic refocus of our business, understanding where our real opportunity lies to drive revenue within the business, and that is in the cooperative sector. We are becoming a pure play digital wallet and payments operator built for national scale to become the digital wallet and payments platform for the whole of the cooperative sector in the Philippines, which is a very large membership base. Currently, we're laser focused on our initial 3.4 million membership base that we can get to through our strategic partnership with the Maspec Federation and their member cooperatives. What we've built, the Peppermint Platform, is anchored in highly valued and in-demand regulatory framework. Having an electronic money issuer license issued by the Central Bank of the Philippines, a lending license issued by the SEC of the Philippines, an operator of payment systems and merchant acquiring, again licensed by the Central Bank of the Philippines, and being endorsed to the PPMI, which opens up the direct digital transfer market of InstaPay, QRPH and PesoNet, creates significant value in what we're able to do. But not only that, it creates the foundation, the framework that allows us to operate in this highly valued market. And if you look at what we've achieved over the last 12 months, we really have been building this foundation, this fabric. We've been starting with the education process through the PCM app, which is the Pino Co-op mobile app that we're rolling out on behalf of Maspec. We provide that white label, front end, back end, all the support that goes with that. We're InstaPay Live, so we can do direct transfers. We're BSP Merchant Acquiring, so we can deliver a network solution to the many member networks through the cooperatives that exist. We're QRPH Live now, which I mentioned in the last quarterly. We're about to go live. We actually are live now. So that's paying direct from wallet by scanning a QR code. And PesoNet, we're looking at a larger payments greater than 50,000. We're currently in testing, and we're looking to be deployed for PesoNet very soon in the not too distant future. And the reason why that is important for Peppermint is because the digital payments market in the Philippines is absolutely exploding. So back in 2013, all retail payments, 1% of retail payments were done digitally. Fast forward to 2024, 60% of all retail payments in the Philippines are now done digitally. Filipinos are absolutely embracing digital payments. Cash light society. It's been driven by policy objective through the BSP, through promoting digital financial inclusion and visibility into what was, as a cash market, a grey and black market. And it's been driven by the the spread of 7,000 islands in the Philippines. You don't have access to a bank on every street corner, but you do have access to mobile phones and mobile signal that allows you to operate in this digital payments market. Our immediate focus, obviously, is the cooperative sector. We've said that, and we maintain that. The relationship we have with Masspec is quite phenomenal. It allows us to access a known customer base of 3.4 million members. This is a sector that is largely manual. It's largely manual transactions. They're largely transactions that are cash driven. Given the shift in digital wallet boom, given the multi-billion-dollar growth curve in pushing people towards operating digitally, and the BSP policy objective, which is transforming the co-ops to become digitally driven, we are smack bang in the middle of a massive opportunity to scale, and to scale quickly. We've built the growth engine, we've built the fabric of what we do, we've built the foundation, and now we are very much in scale mode. Over the last 12 months, we've seen a significant increase in our registered user base. We've seen a significant increase in the total transaction value of funds handled or processed by the platform. So our total transaction value in August 2025 was over $17 million for the 12-month period. It's an average cumulative monthly growth rate of more than 25%. That is continuing at pace. We know how the users are transacting with the platform now. We know what is engaging the users. So it's really about the users and the activity deepening in tandem. And the next 12 months look very positive in our mind. And we sit back and we go, why cooperatives are key to growth? Because of the significant membership base that sits there. Access to the unbanked and underbanked. Still 44% of Filipinos are unbanked. They prefer to use digital wallet platforms. And we're deepening the financial inclusion and carrying on the policy of the BSP, as mentioned earlier. Now, we're moving from a stage where we're going from growth to tipping point. I mean, we're targeting 10 times or 10xing this business in the next 12 months. And how are we going to do that? Well, we understand what the early stage growth was, what the hiccups were. We understand how we clear those hurdles. So we understand how we need to engage with the cooperatives a lot better today than we did 12 months ago. We understand what we need to do with the cooperatives to accelerate the business. And we actually think our ambitions are quite prudent. I mean, 10xing the business is well within our grasp over the next 12 months. And what you can see is that if we've got a metric, and our North Star metric is to achieve $1 per user per month. So you can get an understanding that if we can start to achieve this user base and start to achieve our North Star metric of $1 per user per month, then quickly, if we get to 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 users, and that translates quite clearly to significant funds on a monthly basis that allows us to at least cover our burn rate as it sits at today, around that $200,000 mark. So we're really excited by what we can do over the next 12 months. And our aim is to provide you the opportunity on a quarterly basis to start with, and then on a monthly basis moving forward, how we're achieving on these growth key metrics. And how are we going to achieve that? The growth strategy. So it's a multi-program approach. So it's cooperative onboarding at scale. It's working with the cooperatives. As I say, Masspec, we provide and roll out the Pino Co-op Mobile, the PCM. We deliver front end, back end, marketing support, ongoing service and maintenance support, and driving campaigns through bulk signups, through batch enrollments, through social media campaigns. We also have a boots on the ground approach. So really engaging on a co-op by co-op strategy. We understand all the co-ops, 360 plus co-ops that sit within the Masspec Federation. We understand all their different membership bases. We've highlighted which ones we need to target that allows us to get the greatest uptake in the shortest space of time. So we understand that we have to build trust with them, and we have to encourage them to use the opportunity to transact digitally and what that benefits them as like. Well, so what is the benefit to them, I should say? So that is an education process. Think of think of a co-op of a 1970s or a 1980s West Farmers Co-op here in Australia, a farming community that gets together and shares ideas, shares innovation. That's what the cooperative structure is like in the Philippines. So we're dealing with grassroots, regional and rural people that in some instances haven't had access to digital transactions previously. So there is an engagement process we need to go through. And then there's other product enhancements as well. There's other strategies that we look at, and that's really about improving the interaction on the app itself, providing specialist products to drive engagement. We've just launched one product actually whereby a PCM user, a Pinnacle mobile user, by using the app can actually access a portal to discounted medicines and pharmacy products. That's only available if they're a PCM user. So this is a product enhancement that will drive further users to the platform. And what is actually going to help drive the acquisition and engagement of these users? Well, that is making the digital wallet, which is the centerpiece, the Bismoto digital wallet, which is the centerpiece of the Pinnacle Mobile. Think of it like your transaction bank account. That's what we're providing to these cooperative members. It's making the ability to put money or funds onto that wallet, put funds into the ecosystem that then allows them to transact the key driver. Now we're starting to do that and build that fabric. We've already got the digital interoperability with InstaPay Live, QRPH Live, PesoNet testing. So that creates frictional digital cash in, cash out movement into that wallet. Just again, like your transactional bank account at CommBank or ANZ or whatever the case may be. We're also building a physical cash in network that allows us to allows a user, I should say, if they have cash in their pocket, to actually put money into a terminal to get credited to their wallet. Very soon, I hope to be bringing some more information to the market about the expansion of that network. But again, think of it almost like a cash in at an ATM here in Australia. So getting money onto the wallet. And then it's being driven by endorsements of the likes of Masspec and users already using the wallet. So builds loyalty, builds repeat usage, and allows us to scale not only into the Masspec membership base, but above and beyond to the much, much larger cooperative membership base of 13.6 million members. And that is our target. So what are the revenue drivers going forward? So the revenue drivers to get to where we want to get to in terms of 10 transactions per user per month, $1 of predictable revenue per user per month. We're talking about the direct transactions. We're talking about InstaPay transactions, QRPH transactions, bill payments, eLoad, microinsurance, loan payments and disbursements, which is a massive driver in the cooperative sector. These are recurring high margin fees on every payment. So on average, we aim to get 10 cents per transaction, as I say, that equates to the dollar. You know, other things, merchant, cooperative and acquiring, really driving into these cooperative membership bases through those growth drivers that I've said before. Boots on the ground approach, bottom up approach, top down approach. So we're going member focused. We're also going cooperative focused. So we're really looking to drive all members as possible to the market. We're tapping into this thrust in the market where Filipinos are absolutely embracing digital payments now. In fact, it's the digital payment hotspot in the whole of ASEAN at the moment. And that's being supported by significant BSB regulatory and legal frameworks, which are driving Filipinos to use the digital payments. What I actually would like to do at the moment now is hand over to Brad, who's going to just talk about his understanding of Peppermint and his understanding in more general sense of these platforms and how they exist.
Thank you very much, Chris, and it's a pleasure to be here to present to the shareholders today. I've worked in the digital wallet space in Southeast Asia for about 17, 18 years. So pretty much from the first early development of digital wallets across multiple markets, including Cambodia, Myanmar, Indonesia, and the Philippines. What I want to actually share today in this presentation is a couple of points and really why I think that we now have a significant opportunity to really scale the business as Chris has outlined. We're using the term competitive moat. The reason why we use this term is that we strongly believe that the relationship we have with the cooperatives, and as Chris said, the cooperatives are a critical and very embedded part of Philippine society, with a very significant percentage of the population only able to access lending through this sector. So the reason why we have a competitive moat with this sector is because of the relationship that we have, the contracts that we have, and the desire for the cooperative sector to work with partners that differ from the major platforms that are in the country. So by actually focusing on this vertical, we have a highly engaged customer base. And then if I look at the two areas of businesses such as Peppermint that need to be focused on, the first one is acquisition, the second one is growth. The cooperative sector gives us, as has been outlined, a very low cost of acquisition because we're acquiring customers through the cooperative relationships. We're not being forced to incentivize for customers. We're not being forced to actually pay for customers. We're able to actually leverage that customer base directly through that relationship and onboarding through the cooperative. Secondly, on the growth perspective, we've done the heavy lifting now to actually give the use cases to customers to ensure that once the customers are onboarded, they can pretty much do everything they need to do to meet their financial needs. And this includes making payments to and from other platforms, using QR payments to make merchant payments, and then importantly, repaying their loan payments through the co-op sector. If we just go to the next slide. So the second concept I wanted to talk about today is the North Star metric. So the North Star metric is the single objective that we have in the organization that we've aligned management to ensure that that they're driving towards this, and also it's a metric that we believe will be a critical one to track performance of the business. The North Star metric that we've actually focused on is ensuring we get to $1 per revenue per user per month. We're very focused on monthly active user growth, and we're also very focused on those users then transacting. The previous points I made around the growth capabilities that we've built is critical for us to see these transactions grow. We will see transactions through loan disbursements and loan repayments, but with the other integrations we've done, we'll also see those transactions through InstaPay, QRPH, and bill payments as well. So we believe, and certainly from my experience and other platforms, 10 transactions a month is a believable and achievable number when you have an engaged user. So the focus for us now is on very much those drivers using the competitive moat that we've been able to achieve through the relationship with the cooperatives, using the cooperative relationship as the acquisition driver, and then using the integrations we have into the financial ecosystem in the Philippines as the growth driver, and all of that driving towards the North Star metric. Thanks very much, Chris. Over to you.
All right, thanks, Brad. And with that, that concludes our investor presentation and webinar, and we're going to try and open it up to questions now.
Thank you so much to Chris and Brad for that update. We'll now move on to our Q&A session. Chris, my first question is for yourself. The Peppermint Innovation Limited share price has underperformed over the past 12 months. How do you explain this, and what gives you confidence in the company's future?
Thank you. That's a very topical question. And look, we acknowledge the share price performance over the past year has been disappointing, and we understand that for many shareholders, that's their focus. Broader market conditions have continued to challenge smaller cap and fintech related companies. With investor sentiment and liquidity remaining subdued, it's a challenge. While these factors have affected the company's valuation on market, they in no way reflect the underlying progress made in our business. So over the past 12 months, we've completed essential groundwork to establish a scalable, fully licensed digital finance business in the Philippines. So we've developed a robust technology platform, built deep partnerships across the cooperative sector, and secured exclusive access to a large network of members, a competitive advantage that is second to none and highly sought after, I might say, across the Philippines. Now, the strategy now is to turn that into measurable growth. So we've seen a massive increase, more than a 20-fold increase in members, registered members in the PCM over the past 12 months. We're aiming to accelerate that even further with a prudent access target or a scalable target of 10xing the business. And we actually believe that this momentum, this growth validates our strategic approach and reinforces the confidence that commercial results and shareholder value will follow as scale increases.
Thank you so much to you, Chris. My next question is also for yourself. What initiatives are being used to get real traction and downloads from the Mass Spec Association?
Yeah, another great question. And hopefully I covered that in the presentation. So it's the multifaceted growth drivers that we're looking at. So it's the community engagement, it's boots on the ground, it's bottom-up approach, engaging with the members and understanding what they require to engage with the platform. It's a top-down approach from a Mass Spec Federation perspective, and the endorsement we get from Mass Spec to all the individual cooperatives and the cooperative boards to use the PCM or the digital platform. It's the interoperability across the financial payments landscape in the Philippines, the ability to get cash onto the wallet digitally, the ability to get cash into the wallet in a physical sense as well. And then it's the ongoing growth of the overall digital payments market and the push towards Filipinos embracing digital transactions. So the growth strategies as outlined in the presentation, I think will really drive users, and also the user engagement will really drive users in terms of the interoperability we've built across the platform.
Thank you, Chris. My next question is also for yourself. Do you expect that you need more funding to help to get the business to the North Star you are guiding to?
Yes, we will need more funding, and we're always in continual conversations with the most appropriate strategic capital and corporate partner. So there's been a lot of work done in that sense with Filipino entities that we continue to talk to. And there's also a lot of work done in the sense in a broader international scale as to different groups around the world, as it were, that really understand the ASEAN fintech market and understand the growth in that market. So yeah, we will need more funding, and like any micro cap company, we'll continue to aim to raise funding that is the best and provides the greatest outcome for shareholder value increase that's achievable.
Thanks, Chris. My next question is for Brad. Who are the major digital wallet platforms in the Philippines, and what differentiates Peppermint?
Thanks for that question. So, as Chris outlined before, I mean, the Philippines is going through a rapid digital transformation, and you're seeing this with the user numbers of big platforms such as GCash and Maya, which are the two leading e-wallet platforms in the Philippines. I think the differentiator with Peppermint is that we have a vertical that we're focused on. GCash and Maya are both going after the mass market. We're focusing on a particular vertical that is highly engaged with the sector, in which we've created the competitive moat. So I think the opportunity for Peppermint now is to basically onboard and scale up transactions within that sector. And then importantly, the integration to those other platforms is still there. So the benefit of this is we have a highly engaged customer base that is used to using these apps, but then we have a very specific use case in terms of receiving loan payments and making loan payments that will be an incentive for this customer to also be onboarded with Pinoy Co-op Mobile as well.
Thank you, Brad. My next question is also for yourself. What one update from the company do you think will change the market sentiment to bullish on the ASX?
I don't think there's only one update. I think there's a number of things. I think what we've done with the strategy that Chris has outlined is we're focusing on the key drivers across the business that are going to see success. As I mentioned before, the two elements of a business such as this is acquisition and growth. So we have an acquisition capability through the relationship with the cooperatives. We have the integrations now with the integrations to drive the growth aspect of the company. So the metrics that will need to be that we will continue to track will be things like usage, the number of transactions per active customer, the number of active customers, And all of these things will be measures that the company is on the way to achieving the North Star metric.
Thank you, Brad. Our final question for today is for Chris. Chris, who are your main competitors in the co-op sector, and what is achievable for Peppermint in terms of market share for the 13.4 million co-op members in the Philippines?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's an interesting position we find ourselves in the cooperative sector, because the way and our business model and approach to the co-op sector is by providing the white label platform. What we're doing is we're aiming to build the business of the cooperative. Our business model is also built on a revenue share basis. So every transaction fee that we earn, or every transaction fee that is actually charged, the cooperative, MASPEC itself as a federation, and the cooperative itself who's supporting the rollout of the PCM to their members, achieve a fee. So we're very much taken a contrarian view to the majority of the big digital wallet players in the Philippines. And that is, we're looking to enhance and build and facilitate the cooperative business, as opposed to effectively steal their data and make their members ours, which I won't mention specifically, but we know who the big players are in the Philippines in the digital wallet space. So who are our major competitors? Well, as it stands at the moment, the approach that we take to the cooperative sector is a standalone, and that's our competitive advantage, because we build the business, we help the co-ops build their business, because it is a business for them as well. We help them continue to drive their membership growth by offering new and innovative products. There is a huge focus on the cooperative sector, though, and we're already having discussions with different parties about people wanting to get involved and the bigger financial institutions wanting to get involved. To do that and to establish what we've established is going to take them a long time. And this is a part of the frustration, I think, that the Australian shareholders don't understand. There's a massive relationship element of the cooperative business model that we've created. You don't create that in 12 months or 18 months. Our first initial relationship with MASPEC goes back over 5 years. So we've been working with them in some form for over 5 years, and that creates trust, and that creates the ability for us to operate the way we are. So as it stands at the moment, our model into the cooperative sector is not matched in the Philippines, and that's our advantage. And that's why we're very, very interested in the next 12 months to scale what we've built. So yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Chris. That does bring us to the end of the Q&A session. And as always, if you have any further questions, please feel free to email us at info@corporatestorytime.com. Chris and Brad, before we close, do you have any final comments that you'd like to share?
The only thing I would like to share before I hand over to Chris is that I think Chris has articulated very well that the heavy lifting is done. We have the strategy that's clear. We have the partnerships in place. It's really now time to scale this business and work towards that North Star metric. Thanks, Chris.
Yep. Yeah, thanks, Brad. And quite brief from myself. At the end of the day, Peppermint has a clear strategy, strong leadership, and a high quality growth opportunity across our operations. And we're confident these strengths will deliver value for shareholders.
Thank you to Chris and Brad for such a comprehensive update. This does conclude our webinar for today. And on behalf of the Peppermint team and Corporate Storytime, thank you all for joining us. And we look forward to welcoming you to our next investor briefing. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thanks all.